Sonny Stitt always said that he, you know, arrived at his style on his own, that he wasn't influenced by Charlie Parker, that he didn't hear him until a certain time. Willie Cook, who was this very fine and underrated trumpeter, best known for his stint with Duke Ellington, was also with Earl Hines. He was also an arranger. He arranged stuff for Earl, and he was a very, very accomplished musician who unfortunately had that dreaded habit and that kind of, you know, made it so that he didn't fully, you know, realize what was in him. But Willie told me, and I think he also said it in a printed interview, he and Sonny were together in a band. It may have been Tiny Bradshaw, one of those bands that didn't get to record much during the recording band. And he said that when Stitt first heard Parker on a record, it was one of the Jay McShann things where you got, but that he was completely fascinated by that, and that he absolutely went into, you know, a study of Charlie Parker, which is logical, you know, when you understand it.
What else should we know about Willie Cook? Because he's somebody you mentioned earlier and nobody talks about.
Willie was, we talked about, you know, people going to Europe. Willie went to, he was in Sweden for quite a while and had a good time there. He was in a band, small band, and it was probably one of the best parts of his too short life, aside from being with Ellington. And Duke really used him quite a bit, and there are certain things where you can hear him well. He was a beautiful player, very sensitive, and also did arranging. He was a complete musician, and you know, Duke used him that way. I remember one instance when they were recording, and Duke always, you know, needless to say, he had tremendous ears. When they would run down a new arrangement, something, there would be something that he wanted to hear but didn't hear, and so he would manipulate. And at one point he said to Willie, you know, he said, Willie, put in your Harmon mute, we know what that is, and double one of the reed players, I forget who it was, and double his part. You know, which you can do because it's in the same, you know, the same key, you don't have to do it. So that is one of the ways that Ellington achieved certain effects that bring to mind what Andre Previn said. You know, he said you could listen, if you were an arranger, you could listen to Stan Kenton, you know, in his most, you know, far out, and know exactly how it's done, but you listen to something by Duke and you have to scratch your head. You know, that's not the way he put it, but he said. And that's how, you know, those little things like that come out. But the reason why he selected Willie was an excellent reader. He was a great sight reader. You know. And altogether a very accomplished musician, and a very, you know, sensitive and intelligent guy, but he was strung-out, and that's what, you know, that's what limited him and did him in. He did a nice record with Paul. He and Paul were very good friends in the band. They made a record together in Argentina with a local rhythm section. The one that you can really hear really well. He was somebody who was handicapped himself by that you know, I mean, that was just a period where so many people were hurt by that, and sometimes killed themselves. Look at, you know, poor Sonny Berman, who we talk about Willie Cook and Sonny Berman. In a way, I think they were similar in age. They were both short, and they were both wonderful trumpet players, and they were both, you know, they both had the habit. And with Sonny, he was much younger than Willie. I mean, he was barely out of crib, and such a wonderful player. And boom. So that gets us off the track a bit. But Willie when he was with Earl Hines, which is all before Duke, he did some arrangements for Earl, and there are some things that there's a recording by Ellington of Liza, Gershwin tune. I think that has a really nice Willie Cook solo, and you could look into, you know, more things about Willie, who, you know, should be better known.